Right, well, let's talk about the Robben Island Museum Memorial Run. On the line, on live visuals, we have Kenneth Makatees. He's the regional manager for the Western Cape for the SABC. The SABC broadcasting this race. It's a 10-kilometer run exclusively from Robben Island tomorrow morning. Kenneth, welcome. Tell us about the significance of having this race and what we can expect from it.
Well, it's a very significant occasion. This year, 2023, is exactly 60 years ago that Nelson Mandela, together with Robert Island, were the first time together on the island in 1963. And this is really the essence of the run tomorrow, that we commemorate that huge event that took place then in 1963. It really set a whole chain of development that eventually led, I believe, to what we saw in 1994 with the first democratic elections. So this is really the essence of the race. So we've got about 1,000 runners taking part tomorrow. Unfortunately, we had to limit it to 1,000 runners only because of a number of factors that we had to take into account. The environment on the island, that was a huge consideration. The fact that runners had to be transported by boat to the island. And unfortunately, we could only bring 1,000 runners, but of course the viewers can join us on SABC2 and also on the SABC Sport platform.
So Kenneth, I'm suspecting that it's going to be visually quite an enjoyable race to watch, historically as well. Tell us, how will viewers be updated and what can they look forward to watching this broadcast?
Simon, this was probably the most beautiful run that you will see in South Africa. Robben Island itself, it's a beautiful environment. I mean, you've got the sea. On the one hand, you've got the island, the vegetation. We run towards Table Mountain. I think it's just going to be a magnificent, beautiful race. And then, of course, I mean, I referred to the fact that we had to take the environment into account. A section of the island, it's not accessible because also the breeding season for the penguins at the moment. That's on the one hand. Then, of course, I mean, Robben Island has been a prison for more than 3 centuries since colonialism started here. And although President Mandela has become such an important symbol of Robben Island, we also hope to tell the story of how the indigenous people were captured and sent to this island, to this prison, since the 17th century, how people that were identified by the colonists at the time as troublemakers, Indonesia and the Asian countries, they were sent and incarcerated on this island. The island was also a leper colony, and as the colonialism expanded in this country into the Eastern Cape, how the Xhosa chiefs, for example, were brought here in the 19th century. There's also very sad history as part of Robben Island. That was at some stage also a leper colony. People that were identified with leprosy were sent to Robben Island. So it's a very layered history, and I hope that through our coverage tomorrow morning, we'll be able to tell the story of Robben Island in different ways, whether it's ecology, the layered history, the long history of a prison. I hope we'll be able to bring that kind of story or narrative to our viewers.
Kenneth, absolutely poignant, historical. Tell us, what time does the race start quickly before we have to go to an ad break?
So the race starts at 8:15. We hope to start with our broadcast tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. It's going to be a layered race at different stages. And the reason for that is that we had to take the environment into account. So the first group will start at 8:15. The next group will start at 8:30. And then 8:45, and that's what we are planning to do. And it's basically to take into account the environment as well, that we don't have like 1,000 runners running at the same time. And I just think, it's going to be a magnificent race to view from home tomorrow morning.
Absolutely. The Robben Island Museum Memorial Run. Kenneth Makatees bringing us the latest. That kicks off 8 o'clock tomorrow. Stay tuned for it. SABC2, SABC Sport.